everybody, it's me, Rosemary, the San Gabriel Valley Girl. Thanks for checking out my video. I'm so happy you all could be here with me today. I have a lot to talk about, and I know I can't do it all on my first video, so that's why I really hope that you guys can come along with me on the journey. So I live in the San Gabriel Valley, which is Southern California, Los Angeles area, and the cool thing about the San Gabriel Valley is I grew up here and I've lived here my entire life. I'm 34. I live by the mountains, pretty close range. It's so cool because my grandma lives right down the street from me now. I live like 3 minutes away from her, and I never thought when I was 34 years old I would be living right down the street from my grandma, so that's really cool. And I only live about 10 minutes away from my mom. My mom and my grandma are both amazing ladies, wonderful inspirations in my life. I love them with all of my existence. I have two sisters, Marissa and Desiree, and so it's just us three girls. My mom had three girls, and they're wonderful. It's always been us girls, my mom and us three girls, and my grandma. I actually have two other sisters as well. They come from a different mother though, but the same father. One lives in the desert, one lives in the beach. I'm not as close with them, but we're still sisters. I have a stepbrother that I call my brother because when my mom remarried when I was 11 years old, he was living with his dad and he was 4 years old, and so my mom basically raised him, and I call him my brother. So the brother from another mother, I guess you would say. I love to write. I've always been a writer since a very young age. I wrote my first song at 9 years old. I always kept poetry journals in high school and junior high, and I loved writing essays and short stories. And I wanted to go into that field after high school, when I was able to go to college, but the universe had a different plan for me. I was in a really bad car accident, and I suffered a traumatic brain injury from that, and I relived the brain, I like to say. It's the best way I can describe it because it was very intense. After I awoke from my coma, I just remember definitely not being myself. It was more like I was like a 3 or 4 or 5 year old, and just so much stuff. It's so complex and so in depth. I wrote a book about it. I finished it this year, but now I'm editing it, so I won't go too much into it right now because, like I said, I wrote a book about it, so it's going to take up too much time. I went through a lot of different stages, a lot of different mind games. I was basically a prisoner in my own mind for years upon years, and I obviously go more into detail about it, and I try to convey it to the reader as much as possible in my book. But I went through hell, torturous hell of the mind, the crazy but wonderful mind, right? It could be our worst enemy, or it could be our best friend. We could heal with the mind, or we could die with the mind. The mind, learning how to use that mind, and I feel like I know everything about the mind, and the person I am today is, I like to say, I'm pretty amazing today. Knowing from everything I've been through, everything I've overcome, it's amazing to be here and talk to you and be able to share my story and be well. And I just feel like I've gained so much wisdom and from my experience, and I've had to teach myself so much, and I've had to learn so much, and I'd like to share what I've learned to help better my life with you. So today I like to talk about thankfulness, and I'm thankful to be here talking to you, and I hope you guys are all thankful to be wherever you're at. And just know that you always have a choice. A lot of times, I didn't really realize I had a choice. A lot of times we're thinking and we're living, and we think we have to live by someone else's lights, or we have to think a certain way or be a certain way, or feel a certain way, and that we just have to settle for that way. But once somebody told me, a therapist, a psychotherapist one time told me that I actually have a choice. And it's something that we don't really think about, but I have a choice. I have a choice to stay stuck in my depression or my negative thinking, my feeling of lack, grief, or we could choose to fight, and just until we get better, till we feel better. And believe me, I choose to fight. I feel like I've been fighting all my life on some level, and I'm sure all of us have on some degree. But we just got to keep fighting. Don't ever give up, because even though it may seem like there's no light at the end of the tunnel sometimes, and when you're in such a state of lack and depression and just misery, whether it's pain mentally, physically, and you just don't feel like how you can go on any longer. I felt that way. But something inside me just still kept fighting and kept fighting. And it's amazing, because if you keep fighting, you actually win, and it's all worth it in the end, because you do get better and better. You just gotta learn and teach yourself. Meditation is a good thing. Positive affirmations, positive thinking, visualizations, thankfulness for life. Of course, my family thought that I was maybe going to lose my life that day, and I wouldn't have known even if I did lose my life. But the fact that I'm alive today, and I am so beyond grateful. And you know, during the healing years, I didn't know that to be so grateful and so thankful, because I was healing through my traumatic brain injury. But the person that I am today, 15 years later, it's amazing. Oh gosh. And everything that I've gained, all of the knowledge, all of the wisdom, all of the experience, all of the feelings and the sensitivity of life. There's so much that I want to talk to you guys about in the days ahead. And this is, as you know, my first vlog video. And so I have topics galore on how I'd love to help assist you in feeling better, getting better, and even if you already feel good and great, feel even better, and maybe help you open up your heart a little bit more, and know if we all just do a little bit, give a little bit, help a little bit, and just feel a little bit more, oh my gosh, that's when real true change can take place. Because we live in a scary world right now, and it's been scary for a while. But at the same time, it's beautiful and it's lovely. And there's just so much to be thankful for. And if you guys have any love in your heart, be willing to just open it up a little more and let a little more love in. And we could do so much together. I want you guys to hopefully come on a journey with me and come into my life a little bit, and I'll be sharing different things with you along the way. A lot of self-help, a lot of tools, techniques. The list goes on and on. There's just so much. All right, everybody. Well, that's it for now. If you liked what you heard today, come back and hit that subscribe button and come along for the ride with me and see all the new posts and videos I have to do. Hope to see you guys again soon. Take care. Bye. Chilly.
is. Oh my gosh, it's freezing. They say that, that's a nice car. Very nice car, very nice car. What is that, a Bentley? Is that a Bentley? Well, oh my gosh, they say that 30 degrees is considered freezing, and right now it's 38.